I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. A deal that the city of Palm Coast is trying to strike with the developer is drawing ire among residents. Jason DiLorenzo, the city's chief development officer, breaks down the potential deal on WNZF.
The city would like to acquire land to make sure that we can maintain our golf operations and have a viable golf course and, of course, protect the property values around the golf course. And to do that, we are working with the developer to give them some additional entitlements. That would be the 50 townhouses. And then in exchange for the 6 acres, roughly, that make up the driving range.
But a group called Protect Palm Coast claims the city is just trying to take away the Palm Harbor golf course. DiLorenzo says their plan aims to do just the opposite.
We're trying to make the golf course whole because it's common knowledge that golf courses that don't have a driving range are significantly less viable. They have difficulty staying open.
Developer JDI's application initially called for 125 units. City manager Matt Morton tells WNZF the city will do what he called the right thing.
We inherited this issue, and it's been a long time coming. We're going to do the right thing for this community. We all value our amenities. We all value what this community brings.
The plan is nowhere near a done deal. It still needs planning board and city council approval.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
Flagler County Commissioner Joe Mullins comes under fire for personal Facebook posts in support of President Trump and against Democrats, who he called radical liberals and liberal clowns. His comments brought a few residents to a recent county commission meeting who called his posts a form of cyberbullying. A Palm Coast woman says Mullins's comments are offensive and divisive. Commission Chairman Donald Sullivan didn't want to discuss the matter publicly and called Mullins's Facebook posts private. But Mullins says he won't back down from his critics and will continue to exercise his First Amendment rights on social media. County policy allows Mullins to express himself so long as he never maintains that his opinions belong to the county. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office's SWEAT program helps juvenile offenders turn their lives around. Tony Magoo has the story.
The Flagler County Sheriff's Office held another SWEAT training program. We've got Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley with the sheriff. Who's this program for?
Wayward kids that have gotten off track, and it gives us an opportunity to try to get them back on track so they don't create a lifetime of making wrong decisions or getting arrested.
The day started for the selected juvenile participants at the jail administration building located next to the county lockup where deputies were waiting. They said goodbye to their parents or their guardians and then began their day by turning in everything they had on them, like their cell phones, jewelry, any other electronic devices. And in return, deputies gave each juvenile a reflective safety vest with SWEAT printed largely on the back. They were then loaded in a van, taken to the beach for a 2-hour beach cleanup. Next, taken to the Sheriff Perry Hall inmate detention facility to get a real look at what a stay inside is like. After lunch, detention deputies led the juveniles to a jail classroom to meet guest speakers who discussed experiences in jail, life choices, and consequences of hanging with the wrong crowd. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
With the holiday season underway, the Palm Coast Fire Department is asking everyone to help keep the wreaths green at the city's fire stations by preventing fires. John Arking explains.
Project Green Wreath is a fire prevention program that runs through the month of December, in which large wreaths have been hung at all 5 stations. Patrick Giuliano is the Palm Coast Fire Public Information Officer.
Anytime we go to a structure fire within the month of December, we change one bulb to red. Our goal is to make sure that we change none of our bulbs to red. So with the holidays coming and people now taking advantage of household decorating and extended cooking, we want them to practice fire-safe prevention practices. That way they don't set themselves up for a holiday disaster with a fire.
Palm Coast Fire Department encourages residents to follow basic holiday safety tips like don't overload circuits or extension cords, throw away light strings if they have frayed cords or sockets, and replace with UL-approved devices. Choose live Christmas trees with fresh green needles that don't fall off when touched. Never keep a tree close to a source of ignition such as a candle, and water your trees daily. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Ergen.
More hours of work or more money? That's the question.
Robin King, the president and CEO of CareerSource Flagler Volusia, says that working more hours is more profitable to an employee.
Businesses don't like hiring unemployed people. They want somebody who already has a job. And so your employability increases like by 90% because you've shown that there's nothing wrong with you.
King said that businesses perceive that there is something wrong with a person who is unemployed even though they may be recently laid off. King also said that hours worked are more important than hourly wages.
The wage, in my opinion, is not as important as the number of hours or getting access to those projects through gig work.
To listen to the interview, download the Flagler radio app and go to the Free for All Friday podcast. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.